Hi everyone, Tracy here. Today I'm going to share with you how I made these cute, adorable post-it note holders. Aren't they so cute? The post-it notes themselves, they're 2 by 2. And then you just put them in these little holders. Aren't they adorable? Becky from Fourth House on the Right, she had these on her blog. And I thought, oh, I have to do a tutorial. These are so cute. So I ran out and I got the post-it note holders the same like today. And I played around with these tonight. Becky's were a little different. She had ribbon around them. They're really cute. But I am doing 2 tutorials in one actually because I wanted to do these. Plus, I was asked if I could show how to make the magnetic closure like I did on my sister's mini album. So I thought I will do two tutorials in one. So, let's get started. Okay, so what you're going to need for this project, I'm going to make the little blue one here because everybody I know likes blue, is you'll need a piece of cardstock and a heavier piece of cardstock. This measures 2 by 5.5, and then I rounded the edges. And then you're going to need some decorative pieces to cover the insides. See, my cardstock is only one-sided. If you had two-sided, you wouldn't have to do this, but because that's one-sided, I wanted the inside to have some color to it. And you will need these tiny little magnets. They're very, very thin. And you'll need 2 of those, positive and a negative. You will also need one of these little 2 by 2 post-it notes. And then you'll just need some extra cardstock or something, or extra pattern paper or something just for some embellishments. You don't have to put the embellishments on, but I like the way they look. Okay, the next thing you want to do is you want to score it so it's easier to bend, and you score it at 1 5/8, and then you score it at 2 inches, then you score it at 4 inches, and then 4 3/8. And I'm not sure if this is the exact same size or measurements that Becky used. She never had the instructions. I just kind of looked at hers and tried to figure it out. So you score it at those measurements, and then I'm going to ink the edges on mine. So what I did with this one is I put the magnet underneath the piece of the thin pattern paper, and then here I just cut a little decorative punch out and I adhered that to it so you can't see the actual magnet. So this is the one we're going to do. So the first thing you want to do is you want to adhere your notepad to the middle section of your cardstock. And I inked mine because, like I said, mine is white underneath and I don't want like the seams in that to be white, so I inked it. So the smaller flap is going to be your bottom. So you want the opening part of your post-it notes to be down there. So when you stick it on there, you want to make sure it is facing the right way. And I just use my ATG gun for the adhesive when it wants to cooperate with me. And I always get these little stickies overlapping because I like it right to the edge. So I just fold them over and that's fine. So here's the opening here. And this is my smaller flap. It's at the bottom. So you just put it right up to the top of your crease. If you can see that, you just want, here's your first score, here's your second score. So you want them in between the 2-inch score marks. I want to make sure it's right up against there. There we go. And then you'll close it up like that. And the funny thing is, I already popped these out, and you think I can find them in here? They must have got stuck with one of my other projects or got stuck on one of my tools. I can't find it. So anyways, you need X and an I or X and an O or whatever the symbols are on your magnets. And I put them together. And I don't like the adhesive on here. It really does. So next I want, oh, I thought I lost my magnet again. I want to put this on here. And I want it about here so when I put the punched piece on, it'll work fine. Because I want this to overlap a bit too. Like, I don't want the magnet peeking out. So you're just trying to make everything as centered as pretty good as you can. And then you just push on it. And watch, it's going to lift. See, I don't like the magnet, or the adhesive on the magnets are not very good. So I'm going to adhere this with the this kind of glue, any kind of good adhesive, strong adhesive. So I'm just going to glue this on here, and then I'm going to have to hold it here for it to dry. So I'll be right back. So to make sure that it aligns with the bottom is I stick it on, and then I shut it up, and I hold it and let it adhere to the pattern paper or the pattern cardstock. So I just hold it there. This is a quick drying glue, so it's gonna dry pretty quick. So I'll let this dry, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, now that both of the magnets, the glue has dried. Also, when I put the top cover of the paper on here, it's also going to not only hide the magnet, but it's going to keep it from falling off even more so. Mind you, I trust that adhesive. It's really good. So if you wanted to leave it like this, then it's finished. It's done. It's good. But I want to cover up the magnet, which my sister-in-law was teasing me about because she said it looked. And then we just take our pieces of our paper and cover up your magnet. I want to make it centered all the way around. And see, you can see the magnet is there, under there, but it's not really noticeable like the silver. And then I'm going to, while I'm here with this, I am going to put the adhesive on the bottom piece as well, because when you open it up, you're going to see that. So we'll just stick that down. Now to cover up this magnet, what I used was one of my punches, this little star punch. This is the biggest punch that will cover this, but the smallest punch that it won't cover the whole area. And what I did was I took a piece of the paper out and I punched it. And before I glued it, I put it on top here, and I took my bone folder, which I can't find, so I'll just use this here, and I just put it in the middle. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer. So I put it in the middle here, and then I just pressed around the edges. And I did it before the glue before I put the glue on, because I don't want it to get all messy in that. So I thought I would just do it this way. It would be better if you had a little bit bigger punch, or you wanted to cut your own decorative element out of here, but this is the best punch I have. And I do have a lot of punches, but this is one of the best ones for this project. I wish, like I said, I had a little bit bigger one. So now that it's creased here, it's easier to put it on perfectly without, mushing around all the glue. And again, I'm going to use this quick dry liquid adhesive because you can move it around, and I put a very, very thin coat on because it's really good glue, and I try to go right to the end of each of those spikes. But then again, like I said, if you have a better punch, use a better punch, because it should have been just a tad bigger. And then I put that there, and because it's creased, I know where the middle is. And then again, I just push down so the glue adheres and covers the whole edges of the magnets, just for a better look, so you don't have to see your magnet. But like I said, if you want your magnet there, fine. My sister-in-law said she liked it like that, so maybe I'll give her one with the magnet exposed. So there we go. That's on there. And then you just take this and close it up. And then what I did is I didn't have this color cardstock, and I wanted it to all match. So what I did was I took, you don't even have to do this, but I'm picky, I guess. So what I did was, now that it's on both sides, I just folded it over so I have both sides. See, it doesn't matter if it's creased or anything like that. Both sides have the same color. And then I just took my punch here and I punched out some of the flowers. I want 3 on here again. I like that. But I guess I just have to show you how to do one. So what I did was I just took this petal and I used this foam block, and this held acrylic blocks in it, but it's perfect because it gives you a little bit of play. And let me zoom in again here. And what I did was I took anything with a rounded edge and I just, roll it around and push on the petals, and it gives your flower dimension. Actually, I forgot to ink it. I like to ink it too. Surprise, surprise, eh? And then I just adhere the little flower with just a little tiny dot of glue. And then I just added one of these little white, I guess they're called halfback pearls. And I just added one of those. Mind you, on one of them I had to actually use glue because I didn't, the stickiness for some reason didn't take to the halfback pearl. There's one of the little post-it note holders, and it has the magnetic closure. So there you go. Here's the teeny tiny little post-it note holders. Aren't they adorable? Oh, I'm going to make the whole pack. I think it came with 10, and I'm going to make them all because these are so much cuter, and you can make them with your scraps of paper. Like, how perfect is that? You know, we all have a lot of scraps. So thank you so much, Becky, for putting this on your blog, and I hope you don't mind I made a tutorial on it. They are just so cute not to share with everybody. Thanks for joining me. Bye now.